Hello everybody, my name is Root and welcome back to the Metroid Dread 90% NMG guide. Today we will be going over space, jump, and screw attack, so let's get started. So the first thing that we are going to do is that we are going to head over to Ferenia, and to do that we are going to start off with a couple of flash shifts. So we're going to head to this door, flash shift 3 more times here, melee off this ledge, use our ice missiles, use our newly gotten ice missiles, and aim down right here. So that way we just take out these enemies and they don't hit us. Gonna enter morph ball so that way we get to our fastest fall speed, flash shift 2 more times. So what I'll do is I will charge a charge beam, and then I'll wall kick here, let go of the charge beam at the top of my jump, and then flash shift 3 times. So that way I just enter that door with no problems, and then we are making our way up towards this grapple block. I mean, we're using ice missiles a lot now, but first thing that I do, or maybe a small thing to know, but something to note, is that as soon as I hit the fire thing, I jump and flash shift 3 times, and then I'll flash shift again on the floor 3 times, and then that'll take me straight to the platform. I could be wrong, but I think actually on the last 3 flash shifts there, it's a jump flash. So jump meaning I want to be in the air to get the max distance and hit the platform. But yeah, now we're heading off to Ferenia to go with probably the most annoying trick in the game besides Atom Skip. So now that we are at Ferenia, the first thing that we are going to do is start a speed booster, and then I won't go too in depth with this trick because it can be a little bit difficult. Some little thing you'll notice there, just something pretty cool to note, is that I'll jump here. You can see I jump as Samus will jump here. So that way, if I just run into this wall, Samus will lose all her speed. But if I jump into the wall, Samus retains her speed, and I'm able to keep going at full speed to this wall. Okay, so now that we're at this wall, the important thing that I have to note here is that I am not going to be the best person at explaining this trick. I will do my best. It won't be super in-depth. I am going to link guides. Something I've done previously in the series, something that I will continue to do because I am not great at explaining this trick. I know how to do it. I got used to doing it, but it is difficult to explain for myself personally. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to melee into this wall. Once I do that, this is for positioning. This is important to note. Positioning here is the most important. Positioning and timing are the 2 most important things that you need to keep in mind for space pseudo, which is what this trick is. What our main goal is, we are going to hit this blob right here with a diffusion beam pseudo, essentially. And the important thing to note is where Samus's arm cannon is located. So as you can see, there is a tile block here. There is a line right here, and then there is a tiny little line right here. You want to aim in the middle of this block right here. So there you can see a tiny little line right here. So these are 2 separate blocks. This block on the left right here is what's most important, and Samus needs to be aiming down the middle right here. This is what you want to keep in mind as we're doing space pseudo. Now, as for the timing of it all, you will see down below as the camera pans down right now, this enemy right here. This is our second most important piece of the puzzle when it comes to space pseudo. So this enemy has little claws, I guess we'll call them, and these are what we're keeping in mind. So there's 2 tells for space pseudo. If you miss one, you can look for the other, or you can just keep looking for one depending on what you're more comfortable with. What I look for specifically is when the bottom claw does a little, it'll pull back to the right and then it'll start shaking. Not a lot. It's a minimal shake that you will see and you will notice. I don't know if I go for it here or if I go for the other one that I'm going to mention. So there's another, this top claw is another tell that you can look for. And what that'll show you is it'll go forward, it'll go back. So this claw will go forward a little bit. I'm exaggerating a lot on how forward it'll go, just for the record. It's going to head back on the second one, and then it's going to reach upwards. And once it starts reaching upwards and it hits this little golden thing over here, I don't know what that's called, that is when you are going to shoot. So let's see what I do here. Okay, I actually went for the top claw. So I believe I go for the top claw here. So you see it leaned backwards and now it's going up. So you see it went forward, claw went forward, claw went back, just went back now, and now it's going to reach upwards. As it reaches upwards, I shoot like that. Specifically on this shot, what you do, it's not, you don't just let go of the Y button. Very specifically, you have to morph. If you don't morph, this will not work at all. That's a very important thing to note. So once you do that, that claw reached up, you can see it's hitting that little gold thing, and then boom. That's space pseudo. I will link guides to different ways to do it. I'll also link a guide to the glitchless way of doing it, because that might be easier for people. It really depends on what's more comfortable for you. Some people hate space pseudo, some people love space pseudo, some people really like doing the glitchless version. I believe the glitchless version is harder, if I'm being honest, but to each their own. So now we are heading off towards Screw Attack. And Screw Attack is basically a lot of traveling, if I remember correctly. So as we're coming down here, we have Space Jump now, which allows us to move in, or not move freely in water, but rather we can do infinite jumps in water. But something important to note is that Samus will not gain any height because we do not have gravity suit. I'm right here. I will only be able to move this way in a straight line or this way in a straight line. I will not gain height or anything. Something important to note, and we'll just keep that in mind. So now that we have that, we are heading towards Artaria now, our favorite place. So from here, you can either jump on this ledge here, or you can jump on this ledge and then grapple up here. You can aim perfectly fine right where I'm standing and grapple. Just careful not to grapple too high, because if you grapple too high, this enemy will actually attack you, and you just don't want that. Just a bit of a pain. So you can ice missile this enemy right here, space jump all the way towards it, and lay a bomb, a morph ball bomb down. And that way you can enter that area. So right now we're just kind of traversing the place, nothing too big of a deal. I will mention this though, because this is something that tripped me up a little bit, trying not to get hit by these enemies. From here, as you head out of this tunnel, just shoot a beam and then flash shift. Or shoot a couple beams and then flash shift. And then when you head downwards, so yeah, shoot a couple beams, flash shift, charge shot, and then aim downwards and break those blocks right there. So that way those enemies don't bother you and they just are not annoying like they can be. And then we want to make our way to the elevator. So here, you can slide all the way down. It's slower. You might as well just jump and then flash shift on the slope. It's just faster, to be honest. No, nothing too big to note there. And now we're heading towards Dyrant. I'm a complete liar. We're heading towards Dyrant. Artaria is our last stop though, for Screw Attack specifically. Alright, so now that we are in Dyrant, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to flash shift twice towards this door, flash shift once outside this door, and then flash shift twice, or we're supposed to be able to get 2 flashes off there. We're going to start a speed booster here, and we're going to traverse our way across Dyrant. So this is something you can do. If you don't hit the speed booster in its entirety, that's fine. I tend to trip up right here specifically off this morph, but that's fine. If you mess up at any point, you can always restart the speed booster. It's fine. In most areas, you can restart the speed booster. So don't worry too much about it. From here, we're going to, my goodness, that is okay. So from here, we're going to do a quick shine spark upwards. So as we hit down, the same thing that I showed in after we got plasma beam, to do a quick shine spark from the ground specifically, is that you need to hit downwards, and pretty much as you hit downwards, like, it's pretty quick. I don't know the exact frames or anything, but it is a pretty fast motion. You want to hit a direction. So in this case, I want to hit up, and I hit up, and therefore I get a very quick shine spark. If you don't hit the quick shine spark, that's fine. You can jump, press BY, you can melee, press B to get the shine spark off. Either one works, just something to keep in mind. So from here, we're going to flash shift twice, and then as we head down this slope, we're going to do a little jump there, so that way we avoid this ledge entirely. That's pretty much literally the only thing the jump is for, so that way we just don't have to touch that ledge. And then we are going to head, now we are actually going to head towards Artaria. Okay, so now that we are in Artaria, we're gonna take out this wide beam door. We're going to head down here. And this is actually another speed keep. I feel like I'm pretty inconsistent on which speed keeps I've been showing, and I will apologize right now for that. But this one isn't too bad, if I'm being honest, but I might just be used to it also, if I'm being honest. But you're going to take out the enemy, and then you really want to start, you specifically want to start the speed booster right here. This is the least distance you can get off the speed keep, if I'm correct. So I went a little bit further, but just to be safe. And then we are going to morph off of this, unmorph as we hit the floor, do our space jump. We should be able to avoid this enemy every single time. And then we are going to, or at least I do, I morph into that jump. So I morph into this jump. For me, it's a little bit easier, and then I'll start running, and then I'll morph again and be pretty much locked into this morph ball position. So that's just something that I do. This is another flash chain. This one is interesting. Like I said previously, the thing with flash chains is that you pretty much have to trust that you're going to hit them. So after I take out this enemy, flash, I'm assuming I'm hitting this ledge hop. So there's not a point where I'm doubting myself. So I have a lot of trust in myself that I'm going to hit this ledge hop and then I'm able to hit the flash chain like that. So if you feel like you're missing the flash chain, it's because you're probably taking like a second too long. I mean, a second is too long, but like you're taking like, you know, half a second too long to be like, am I going to hit this? Just trust that you're going to hit it and trust in your ability and you'll probably be able to hit it. So with that being said, let's back up like 1 second. So once we get down here, you don't even have to land on the floor here as you do your little respin. You can just flash all the way over this enemy. So you don't have to worry about that enemy at all. And then you can head in towards this water over here. Another thing, gonna flash across this way, flash again. And we're gonna do flash, that's right. So there is a missile block here. There is a missile block there, just in case you accidentally run into it and be like, why did that not work? It's a missile block. And then run, speed booster all the way through there because those are speed booster blocks. And we're gonna flash shift into this cold area. This might seem a little scary, but you have plenty of time to make it through. And flash shift our way out. So interesting thing there. This is just something that can happen, not necessarily a mandatory thing that you have to do, but excuse me, if you look up your shot right there, you can actually get a shot pretty quickly off and not have to worry about, you know, charging up the second beam afterwards. So just a little interesting thing. So now I only have to hit that with one shot. We're gonna do the same thing we've done before, the water bomb jump onto this ledge, and we're going to perform another glitch that I actually do not know how to explain at all. So if you got upset at me for space jump, I'm sorry. This is going to be even worse because I just don't know how to explain this at all. So what we're going to do is after the water bomb jump, you're going to hang off the ledge, and then Samus is going to jump all the way over here. And what's important about this is that for some reason when Samus rubs against ledges underwater, she gains more height. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and forth on this ledge, and as we do that, Samus will gain more height out of the water and she'll be able to jump out. That is as best as I can explain it. I'll see if I can find a video for it to link in the description. Once again, you have my apologies for that, but it does, that's pretty much the trick. So we're going to head off of here, or sorry, the way that I do this is that I wall kick off here and then I'll flash over and then I'll morph. And usually what that'll do is that'll allow me to get the morph, or that'll allow me to enter the tunnel just without having to climb in or anything like that. So that's just pretty neat. So for here, we're going to do another water bomb jump, and I like to lay the bomb right as I'm leaving the tunnel. And that's because if I get hit right here like this, it puts me in the perfect position to set up the water bomb jump. So that way I don't have to change my, you know, where I am or anything. I literally just, from where I am, I just jump and perform the glitch, and then we get screw attack. Next time I'll be going over gravity suit, and I think literally just gravity suit because I think it's a decently sized split. Once again, my name is Root, and hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye bye.